a session with Preetha Wali, and unfortunately, we lost her for some reason. So I'm going to go into session two. We're talking about personal finance, and this is episode number 3 on MyBoTree MyPod with me, Jane. Interesting stories tracking entrepreneurs who are definitely super interesting in different genres, and also content creators, musicians, artists, foodies, chefs, fashionistas, everybody. So creators, entrepreneurs coming together. This is part 2 of this live session, and Preetha Wali is a financial wellness coach. She has a company that she runs with 2 of her partners called Pay It Forward. They do some very interesting sessions on personal finance for women, for men, and for everybody. Really going to say hi to her in just a bit.
Hi, Jane. Sorry, it got
Hi.
cut again.
Okay, that's all right. I've saved that session and posted it, so we don't have to redo it, which is the good part about how that rules. But yes, here's part 2, and you were telling me about how you are reaching out to young people, especially who have a new drive these days to understand personal finance. So please go ahead.
Yeah, so one good thing is that they're all keen on understanding personal finance. They all want to know, but the thing is like they're looking more at a quick way of, youngsters, I guess, the quick, how do we make quick buck kind of a thing. So we are like, there are 2 parts to finance. So one is a slow, simple, keep it simple kind of a way of doing it, which is your foundation. And the quick buck comes next. So that's what we are trying to explain to youngsters, that even if you have a dream, a goal to travel, say COVID is not letting you travel today. So probably you'll travel maybe, hopefully 6 months later, we'll all be traveling. So why not just start saving for that? As simple as that. But what is happening is a lot of people tend to take loans for travel, for buying a TV or even a phone today. So we are trying to change those little habits there. Again, because no one told you to save for something, especially the present, lately we've not been into that. But when we were small, we were always told to put that money aside. So we are trying to get that back, saying that, put it aside for whatever you want to do. So 6 months later, if you're going to travel, start an RD, put the money into an RD and say, I'm going to like ensure I have 50,000, a lakh, or whatever it is that you want. At the end of 6 months or 1 year, whenever we can travel, the money is there and I just get up and go. It's as simple as that. It's just little things. If you tweak, I think that's all. And that's what we tell all the youngsters in our sessions.
Fantastic. In terms of women today, especially women entrepreneurs, do you have any special sort of guidance or coaching classes that you do? Because there are lots of women who are, working these days, and equal breadwinners in families. And I understand that, if, when I go home, of course, my mother seems to have a bigger hold on how they save and invest. But I think that's come with time. Like you said, the women ultimately learned somewhere along the way. I mean, Indian middle class women, even our moms have learned it. But I think a new breed and crop of young female entrepreneurs definitely want to understand personal finance completely differently. So, is there something that you especially do for them? Because there's so many women entrepreneurs who are trying to make not a quick buck, but a real buck, like a genuine buck. So, what are some of the things that you do for them specifically?
So one of the things is we've had a lot of sessions where we've spoken at women entrepreneur forums, and on at those forums we have spoken about some basics like even understanding. So a lot of women say, for example, I have a passion to do something, so I start off my business. My passion is in what my business is about. But the thing is, I also need to understand marketing. I also need to understand some amount of accounts and things like that. So we do explain there how to, understand a few basics. Because one thing is, of course, you can't do everything, but you need to know some things so that, most importantly, you need to know those little things around, say, accounts, so that nobody's taking you for a ride, right? So you put somebody else in charge, they can just mishandle your money. Instead, what you just need to be aware of, say, what are your assets, what are your liabilities, what is the income coming in, what is the expense going out. It's as simple as that. It's like a home budget. It's not really very different. It's just that the heads are different. The heads under which you put it, they're different. So it is a simplified way of explaining it, but that's the beginning. So just to say that if you start there, you can do it, especially in the beginning. And once, as you grow, obviously you'll take on more professionals to the business. But yeah, that's how you start, is what we talk in our sessions.
As three female entrepreneurs who've come together yourselves in order to start Pay It Forward, what's been the journey like, and what's been, your track record in the pandemic season, and what lies ahead in 2021 for you guys?
Okay, so the first thing is about how we came together about 5-6 years ago, and the three of us had this vision to do something for women. And we ourselves realized that, seeing our family members and ourselves also, in fact, that we were never actively involved in the family finances. And we saw, all the ups and downs that the families go through because of that. And of course, we did a lot of reading up and things like that. And we started by explaining investments to women, saying that, okay, you can start off by learning all about the stock market. So we explained how to look at the stock markets and how to understand things. Then we realized that's the next part. Actually, the first part is getting your financial basics in place. So then we moved from there. Luckily, touchwood, I've got two great partners who also saw, three of us, our vision is the same, to go and explain so that people don't make mistakes and don't fall into these mis-selling traps. And we all know how many of us have been missold so many things. We don't know what questions to ask. So we said, let's go down to the more basic bit, because you have enough people who explain the larger bit, the deeper bit rather. So the basic part of forming a base, a foundation for your personal finance is what we decided to start with. So going from there, we started explaining and going into different fields. Now, when we went into the corporate world, like I told you, that's when the corporates realized the importance of financial wellness, which was good for us, saying that, okay, just physical wellness and mental wellness is not all. Take it a step back and see a lot of the reasons for this can be because my finances are not in good shape, and finance can give you nightmares, right? Lack of finance or being in deep debt can be really, I mean, there are so many suicides which have happened because of financial stress. So corporates have recognized that, luckily for us. And the third point is, thanks to COVID, like I said, the ask has come from employees itself, saying that I'm worried whether there is enough for my family if something happens to me. So the corporates have also seen this as an opportunity to help their employees. And for us, it's been a good thing in a way, if I may say so. The positive out of COVID for us has been that importance of understanding personal finance has come to the fore today. Today, it is something which people are realizing that they need. They need adequate insurance, so they need to be prepared, well prepared, so the children's education doesn't get affected in case the job loss is there or something. Those have come to the fore. So that's what we are kind of carrying forward, and hoping it goes on till by 2021, 22, 23, 24, goes on for a long time, that people understand, yes, this is what we require.
That's fantastic. I'm sure that the world is currently at a stage where everybody needs to understand financial inclusivity when it comes to the entire family also being part of these decisions. Everyone needs to understand their personal finances, and then a joint finance sort of a system, as in to make sure that everybody in the family is back on track. So I'm sure
Just a
young
point
people.
here, Jane, I'll just add a point since you just brought in the word world. So we've done some global international sessions also. So
Oh,
we've done
lovely.
sessions for US, UK, Philippines, Jordan. We've done sessions across. What we found is, surprisingly, even in developed countries like UK, US, it's the same. It's the
Wow.
same. No one teaches you. Of course, they do spend, I think they have $500 million budget or something for personal finance literacy sessions. But it is the same when it comes down to a layperson and employee. The kind of questions they asked us during our sessions, more or less the same. Taxes and regulations are different in every country, but culturally, no one really has taught them either. So that's kind of, I don't know if it's consoling for India, but yeah, it is the same globally.
I have a feeling that, most people, except if they're into finance, when they're into other walks of life, could be an artist. Of course, entrepreneurs need to understand because they need to break even. But most other people, right? They spend their lifetime, perfecting their art or their whatever, that they don't find the right sort of, like, when someone says financial stability, or, investing, it just becomes, and I'm speaking on behalf of people like me. It's not like I'm not read or well read, but somehow with respect to my financial literacy, it's been zero because I've been focusing so much on my own work. So I guess that is where, whether it's a developed country or developing country, there could be a commonality, right? Because finance seems to be so difficult to understand. People, and then there is so many complicated new trends where, there's Dogecoin and there's cryptocurrency, and then you're like, you're just so lost, you don't know where to start. But like you said, I think that is where you need to break the myth and start advising people on just the basics of personal finance, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the two, 3 points that, what you brought up reminds me that I must share is that one is women have all the strengths which are required for personal finance, actually, because we are people who are used to a home budget. We are people who spend out of a certain limited resource. We are people who don't take too many risks. We think through about the entire family before we, do take any step. You can even think about your friends and neighbors and everybody else also. That's how much women would stretch it. So there's so many strengths that we have. It's always little surprising that women take a back seat. Second thing is that when you said that women they play so many roles, so they already have so many things that they're doing. I think they feel taking on one more thing which we think is difficult might not be really something I want to do at this stage, but it is important. And the other thing is saying that actually it's not difficult. I don't I'm someone who's scared of math and doesn't have any I don't like, I'm not very fond of numbers. But the point is, finance is not just about numbers. The first step is the planning, which is something that just even school kids will understand, basically. So saying that women, after doing so much, they can definitely get it right because of the strengths, and because once they simplify it. And there's a very nice saying which we use in our sessions, which is, when you teach a woman, when you teach a man, you teach a man, but when you teach a woman, you teach an entire generation, because women tend to pass it on to their children and then maybe niece and nephew and things like that. So it's all there. The women just need to take the initiative.
So before I end the session on MyBoTree, if you had to give the top 5 tips, and I'm going to repost this on I'm going to get you back on my own handle and leave it there as well. If you had to give us the first top 5 tips to starting basic financial planning for anybody, for women, for men, for young adults, because everybody today, starts making money a little earlier, is understanding the concept of money. So the first 5 basic tenets to personal finance planning would be what?
Okay, there's a lot to say. So let me just start with a few basics, which is like, first and foremost is about protecting what you have. First and foremost is not making millions, but ensuring that what you have is safe. Towards that, what you need to do is basically ensure that you have created an emergency corpus. Second thing is to ensure that, today we all know about the COVID. Thanks to COVID, actually, a lot of issues around insurance have come up. The lack of it, which has led to people, selling off their assets and paying hospital bills, which is really sad. So saying, I need adequate insurance. Third thing is saying that, let me plan. When I plan for something, say, for example, I'm young, I'm in my 20s, I'm about to get married. I know, or maybe I'm about to have a child. Let's say I'm about to have a child. We know at the end of 18 years, most kids at the end of 18 years require a big corpus for college, right? So plan keeping that in mind, that there is a goal, which is a long-term goal. Keep that goal in mind. Ensure it is either short, medium, or long, and plan accordingly. Don't go by what is sold to you. Go by what you read. Attending our sessions is one thing, if I may say, or there is enough information on the web also. Checking out, go by step is what I would say. Don't run into the crypto thing when you don't have an emergency fund, because crypto crashed, I think by $10,000 recently. you would have been wiped out if you had put your money in that, right? So that cannot be the first thing that you do. So saying that risk is a part of life. COVID is a good example for us again. So saying go by protecting, planning, and then investing. If I can put it in 3 steps, that's what I would say. Do not sign any document. This is again a huge thing. Do not sign any document without reading, because there's a lot that happens when you put your signature. That's kind of seals your fate, you can say, in certain ways. And this happens a lot in the insurance industry, because people tend to sign the insurance papers and they don't read what they've signed up for, because they think it's very complicated. It's actually not complicated once you Google it. So go check it out. When you have Google, why would you make too many mistakes? I'm not saying that everything will be perfect, because sometimes you might not know what to look for. But if you just check out a few basics, there are enough websites and videos and good Samaritans out there who you can rely on and plan your finances well. Yeah, that would be, I think I gave 5 points. Yeah.
Absolutely. Kind of very interesting to see that, you've talked about how to get your basics right. And for anybody who's scared or intimidated, just like I am, or just like somebody who's not started their personal finance planning yet, I think it's very simple. So for people to get in touch with you and to figure this out, are you guys expensive? Are you guys, easily, like within the budget of most middle class people? How does this work? I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, so I'll put it like this, Jane. So we do, our sessions are anything between, giving a talk to doing various modules, because you can't explain finance at one go, right? Your head will
Correct.
probably be spinning. So we've broken it down into easier, simpler modules, and we conduct our sessions like this. It's not like number crunching. Like I said, Excel is there, calculator is there. So put the numbers aside. First, put your plan in place, which is all about words. It's about thoughts. So our sessions basically are broken into smaller modules. Everything is customized. So say, supposing you are coming for a session, we'll check with you your age, your background, and things like that, and then curate the session so that it fits your age and you go back with a good takeaway. It's not just something that, I want to tell you 5 things, so I'm going to tell you. It's not that. It's what is it that you need to know. So when it comes to costing, we are very flexible in the senses, you tell me how comfortable you are. COVID times today, I mean, a lot of people struggling, but really need this kind of help where they need to plan. They need somebody to tell them without selling anything. That's our USP, We don't sell anything. We are purely educational. And more importantly, we have nothing to do with any financial institution or anything. So what we teach you will probably be, the best that you can learn for your age and your background. So we do not, we're not exorbitant in charges. Our idea is that you should be comfortable, so should we. It's not like we are a social entrepreneurship venture. So we'd like to do good for the society, but obviously, we also need to survive. So there is some cost, but yeah, we don't charge like something which you're going to be feeling bad about.
Fantastic. So this is something that you do as personalized, customized classes for individuals, for corporates, for startups, and basically your packages for everybody. I'm really excited to understand the basics of what the basics of financial planning are. On behalf of MyBoTree and MyPod, Preetha, it's been a very interesting session. Do you have a final shout out to everyone who's watching this video? What would you like to leave us with? Is there a story from this pandemic season that you and your partners at Pay It Forward have sort of, opened your eyes to, that has helped you help people more? Because you did say you're a social entrepreneurship platform, but of course, at the end of the day, everybody needs to make money. But is there a story of your own realizations from this pandemic season overall?
I wouldn't say so much as a sudden realization, but yeah, I mean, it is something that we've also realized that everybody needs to know this, irrespective of whichever stage in life you are, however old you are. Everyone has fears, right? Everyone is worried. Everyone is worried for themselves and their families. So pandemic has shown that, what we always thought, actually, it's more than us realizing it, it's kind of proved that, yeah, we were on the right path to show people that, everybody needs it. Even if you're 40, 45, we've done sessions for 50-year-olds too. 50-year-old life expectancy sometimes is up to 90, even though the papers will tell you 70. We do live up to, we know our grandparents have lived up to 80, 90 years, right? So even 50-year-olds are scared. What if I live to 90 and I don't have money then? So it's kind of, pandemic has actually shown us more that, this is something which people really require, and it can be any age, and it's kind of proved us right, I should say, if I may say so. Yeah, more that, yeah.
Fantastic. So whether you're 18, you're 30, you're 50, you're 60, everybody needs financial planning. And if you've not started it, just like I have not, time to start today, consult Pay It Forward. Sounds like a fantastic opportunity for so many people to reach across to you. Preetha, of course, this is your personal handle, but you want to leave Pay It Forward's Instagram handle so people can DM you if necessary?
They could reach me on this itself, Jane. This is yeah, this is a good
Preetha
handle.
Wali, you can see her Insta handle there. Pay It Forward is the company's name. I will try and see if I can hook you guys onto that Instagram handle as well. On behalf of MyBoTree and MyPod, thank you so much for joining us. Every time there's a financial session required, we know who to come to right now. Thanks so
Yes.
much.
Thanks,
Have a
Jane. Thanks.
fantastic day. But do stay on because I will put you on my personal page and we'll probably give the top 5 pointers for anybody who's watching that video and ask them to watch the rest of the entire episode on MyBoTree's page. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll see you in 2
Thank you.
minutes. Bye.
See you. Bye.